Hey guys, it's your girl Spice coming back at you with another video, and I wanted to let you know that I am planning to start a new series called Weight Loss Wednesday, and it's going to be a series regarding my weight loss story, my weight loss journey, exercising, food choices, all things weight loss. So that will be coming soon, and this probably will be the first episode of that. So just stay tuned, but go ahead and keep watching because I want to tell you guys about my weight loss story, how it all started, and kind of what led me to where I'm at today. So buckle in and let's go on this ride together. Hi guys. How are you guys doing today? I hope that your day is blessed and it is going smoothly. I have to say mine is going great. This week is of course the week of New Year's, and it has been going pretty well. I mean, New Year's Day was a nice lazy day. I just kind of hung out, caught up on some rest, caught up on some YouTube stuff. And then today I went and picked up my donations like I normally do on a Thursday. And I'm actually waiting for a coworker to meet me so I can deliver her goods for her clients to her so she can go deliver them. But then, yeah, I mean, I'm going to go and meet with my friend, help her. We're going to start working on her baby shower. She's due in March, I think. So I think the baby shower is going to be early part of February. So it's just been a regular day. But I did want to pop in here and talk to you guys about some things because over the last 2 months, you guys have heard me mention my weight loss surgery, and I've talked about it, just kind of just touched on the fact that I had it. And a couple people have asked me about the actual surgery, what led me to getting it, where I got it, that kind of thing. And one guy specifically, I'm going to give him a shout out, Sadon Akash. I believe I'm saying that right. I'm going to put his name down here. He's been asking me some questions and kind of sparked me to go ahead and make this video because a few of you had asked before, but I don't know why I hadn't made one. I guess I didn't think y'all would be that interested, but it's good to know that some of you are. Like I said before, in August 10th of 2018, I had weight loss surgery, and I had the gastric sleeve procedure. And so that means that they take your stomach and they take about 80% of your stomach off. And so you have a much smaller stomach, and it's just kind of just a round tube. I'll probably try to insert a picture here so you can see what that looks like. But yeah, I did that in August. So far, I'm down about 50 pounds in that 4 months or so, almost 5 months now. Been at a stall for a little while, which is, pretty normal. But I can say the holidays, I think, probably affected my diet a little bit. Well, a lot of it, honestly. Let's keep it real. So I'm kind of getting back on track with that. And I thought it'd be great, since I'm going to get back on track, to tell you about the story and kind of what I want to do going forward. So I have been overweight all my life. I've always been the chubby cousin, the fat friend, I've never been slim. Even probably started about 5th grade. I was always in bigger girl clothes and just couldn't ever dress like the cute girls did. Because, the cute girls had all these little leggings and these little things. But back then, I mean, this is like early 90s. They weren't really checking for your girl. They weren't checking for plus size kids or chunky kids. Now, when I look back on it, I wasn't like fat. I just was bigger than everybody else. And there weren't like junior plus, or what do they call it? Hefty. I think it's hefty kids now, or hefty size. I don't know. They didn't have any of that when I was growing up. So I dressed a lot to me, I felt like I dressed like an old woman because I had to go into the Mrs. section, and none of that was cute. Whereas now they have junior plus. You can be chubby and plus size and still have stuff that's in style, which I love that they have that now, but that wasn't the case for me. My weight was always a problem. And I've tried every diet. I think my first diet was in 5th grade with my mom, and it was the tomato and cottage cheese diet and a boiled egg. So we'd have a cup of cottage cheese, a tomato, or was it a grapefruit? I think it was a grapefruit, and a boiled egg for each meal. What 5th grader you know? What 10-year-old do you know wants to eat that? And wait, I feel like there was like 5 saltines. There's something about 5 saltines. Y'all, if y'all are like old school and can go back to the 90s, you remember this diet because it was very popular and people did it all the time. I did that. I've done, when I tell you I've done every single diet you can think of,
lemonade cleanse. I've done juice cleanses. I've done water fasting. I've done just regular fasting. I've done Weight Watchers. I've done Nutrisystem. I think the only one I never did was Jenny Craig, but I did some that was similar to Jenny Craig. It was called like the LA, I can't remember, but it had LA in it, and it was similar to Jenny Craig. But then I also did one that was similar to Ideal Protein. I think you guys have probably heard of that. Where you can buy their bars, but then you only eat, chicken breast and veggies, and then you can have the bars as like they give you so many bars a day based on your weight and your calories and everything.
Spent so much money, so much money. My mom actually suggested I do it because she had the gastric bypass. Let's see, it was about it was my first year of college, or when I went away to college. So I did 2 years in community school, and then I went to college in 2001. So I think that's about the time she did her weight loss surgery. And I remember being so disappointed because back then, it wasn't nobody really talked about it. But I thought that weight loss surgery was like the easy way out. And my mom was nothing like that to me. Like she was so strong and so capable. I just felt like we got to just try harder. Like, let's work out every day. Let's do this and that. Let's do this and that. And even though I had always had a weight problem, I was still so young. It hadn't been something that I had struggled with my whole life like she had. Now I completely understand why she was like, I need to do this. Then it was like, come on, Mom, we can do it. We can do it. You can do anything. Excuse me. And I gave her a hard time about it. And it was just because I didn't understand, but still, I do sometimes still feel bad. Like I wasn't as supportive as I probably should have been. But I just thought, like, my mom can do anything. So she doesn't even have surgery. That's what my thinking was. And I get why people still think that now. But when I tell you, having surgery is not an easy way out. It literally cracks me up when people think that, because you have no idea. It is not easy. There really is not. It's not like this is just this easy fix. Okay, you eat less. Yes, at one point, at one time, you can eat. Your meals are smaller, but that doesn't mean you can't continuously eat throughout the day and still have a large amount of calories. There's so many people who get weight loss surgery and then gain all their weight back because they don't use the tool for what it is. It's not a quick fix. Like, people think that, and it just baffles me. But I get it. You don't know that until you have it. Anyway, let me go back to the topic. So she had the surgery. She even said, she started losing a little bit of weight. But when I went back to school, she still was, she still looked like my mom. She hadn't changed so much. So she had kind of been telling me, like, you should look into it. Because my dad was in the process of changing jobs and his insurance was going to change. And she kept saying, like, if you want to do it, we need to do it now while your dad sells his insurance. And I was like, no, I don't want to do it. I'm fine. I'm good. I'm going to do it on my own. Nasty attitude, thinking I'm better. So I didn't. And through college, of course, I gained my freshman, right? Well, I went as a junior, but I gained my junior 15. And I think it ended up being a junior 30. And then my mom passed away unexpectedly. And so when I came back and saw her, in the casket, and she was 70 pounds lighter, it just didn't click that was really her, because she was not recognizable to me. She looked completely different, And going through that whole thing with my mom's death, which I will share that story and more about that, because I feel like that is such a big part of how I became who I am now, and the struggle that kind of started as soon as she passed away for me. This sent me on a downward spiral, and I did gain quite a bit of weight the next 4 years, just trying to deal with that, trying to deal with my mom passing, my dad, basically losing my dad too. Also, me being away at school, and I'm still with Pookie, and he's across the mountains, and we don't see each other very much. We're not talking as often because the distance. Like, it was just a lot of big things that contributed to me using food as a coping mechanism. And so, literally, honestly, for the next 5 to 7 years, I just consistently gained weight. Like, it'd be 10 pounds a year, and all of a sudden, I was just like, oh my God, look at me, I'm big. And through that time, I would still try diets. Like, me and a friend, we did, like, my aunt was our accountability person, and we had to pay her, I think, if we didn't lose a certain amount or we weren't hitting our goals. Then me and my aunt did the same type of thing with two of her friends, where we were on teams and we had to lose an average every month. And if you didn't, then the other person was supposed to, we were going to pay for them to go on a trip to, like, I can't remember what the details were. Whoever lost had to pay. That's what I'm trying to say. Well, we ended up losing, and thankfully they never took us up on it, and we didn't have to pay. But we were trying to, do things that would really keep us accountable, and it just never worked. I would lose a little bit here, a little bit there, and then it wouldn't work. So one time I found a good friend of mine from my old coworker. She had been posting how she was losing all this weight. And I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And she's like, come listen to this little spiel about it. And so it was the, gosh, now I'm losing my train of thought. What was that called? Oh my gosh. It was okay. It was called HCG. And there were these drops that you would take. And the way it went was you had these loading days where I would load, which means I'd eat all this fatty food for 2 days straight while taking these drops. And what that was supposed to do was to like up your fat store so that in the next 30 days while you're taking the drops and eating this 500 calorie diet, you're supposed to be using your fat reserves as fuel, and the drops helped you do that. I did that for 30 days and I lost 30 pounds, but I was only eating 500 calories. I was, the first 4 days, you're starving. But I was so fed up and so like, okay, I'm desperate. I'm going to do it. I just did it. Like I did it. And then after that, your stomach kind of shrinks and gets used to you not eating as much. And I ate 500 calories, I think the whole day. And took my drops and drank lots of water, and I dropped 30 pounds like really quick. And I got down to about 215. That was the lowest I'd ever been. That was when my license plate matched my driver's license. And actually, you know what? I got to 213 because I remember being like, ooh, I got to get a new driver's license. So then, because I did about 2 rounds of that. So I lost 30 pounds the first round and I think 15 pounds the second round. So that was 45 pounds. I lost that weight really quick. It was less than probably 2 months that I lost that weight. And then I all of a sudden was just tired of being hungry, and I started eating. And because I was tired of being hungry, I started eating and it quickly gained back 15 of those pounds. But then I also gained a gallbladder issue and ended up having to have my gallbladder taken out, because when you lose weight drastically, gallstones are a side effect of that. And so my gallbladder got taken out. And during that week of me having my gallbladder out, because I was feeling so badly, I didn't eat much, and I lost 15 pounds again. So I was back down to this, my low weight, and I'm thinking, ooh, okay, well now I can just start fresh from here. I had just started a new job. It was just it was a, what do you call that? Toxic. That's what it was. It was a toxic situation. And I started gaining my weight back again. And I was there for about a year and just slowly started putting on weight. It was just a lot. I still was depressed. I still had a lot of issues that I didn't even recognize were issues that I needed to work out. I had recently lost my house to foreclosure. It was a lot. I just had a lot going on, and my weight was always something that fluctuated, and food was just the one thing I could afford. And that was my self-care, which was really not self-care, but that was how I eased my stress and pain. And so let's just say, fast forward a few years, my life continued that way. Up and down, diet, up and down, diet, right? And so I started watching this little boy. I love him to death. His name is Jackson, and me and his mom met through another friend of mine. Who just recently had weight loss surgery, and she's doing great, but I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to put all her business out there. And people we know mutual people, and I'm not going to say the lady who told me either because we also know mutual people. But so the lady that I was watching her son, we're just going to call her Kay. And so Kay was also struggling with weight. She just had a baby. She was going through some things in her personal life, and you know how that happens, you gain some weight. And so one day, out of the blue, she was like, I'm going to tell you something. And I said, what? She was like, I'm going to have weight loss surgery. And I was like, oh my gosh, I want to have weight loss surgery. Because at that point, I had really been thinking about it. My weight had tipped the highest I'd ever been. And I was like scared now for my health. Like I was petrified. She was like, I'm having weight loss surgery and I leave on this date, which was like 2 weeks from that day she told me, and I'm going to Mexico to have my surgery. So I was like, girl, Mexico? Why are you going to Mexico? And she told me why. She was like, you know, I had a coworker. One day I came into work, she was chubby. It seemed like the next day I came back and she was skinny. She told me all the rigmarole she had to go through with insurance, which I personally had to go through too. And she researched and found a doctor, read his reviews, talked to clients he'd worked with, and she was like, she just wanted to get it done. So I was intrigued. Like I was like, what is going on? And this woman is a PhD graduate, so she's not dumb. Like she knows her stuff. All she does is research. So I was like, I'm gonna just watch how this goes for her, and then I'm gonna see about doing this myself. I had tried to go the route through my insurance, and if anybody's done weight loss surgery, you know that they take you through all these hoops. And one that was so frustrating to me was that they would cover a certain amount based on what your illnesses were due to your weight. And fortunately, God he protected me from having any of these illnesses. So I didn't have like overly concerning high blood pressure. I didn't have diabetes. I didn't have thyroid. I didn't have, there was another one on that list. There was another one on that list that you needed to have those things. The only one that I was morbidly obese. If you had those other 4 things, can't remember what the 4th one was, then your insurance covers you covered a higher amount of the surgery. And I didn't have them. I was borderline everything. So basically they were telling me, yeah, once you get sick, then we'll help you. Until then, you're going to have to pay this amount of money. The amount of money that I would have to pay out of pocket was like $1,300 or $13,000, sorry. And I'm just like, that's a lot of money to pay when if this really was going to work out, like Kay said, I'm going to do what she does. And it was literally half the price. Long story short, it worked. She came back. She went down there actually by herself. She flew in the Thursday night, had her surgery on the Friday, hung out at the hotel, walked around, did her stuff in the city, did a tour, and did her follow-up checkup on Monday and came home that same Monday and then was back to work on Wednesday. So she only took 1 day off. And she was like, I feel fine. I don't have any complications. My service, they treated me so well. The hospital was super clean and high tech. And the doctor was so accommodating and very caring. And, you know, he would check in on me and everything. So I said, oh my God, I need to do this. So that's kind of what led me to going ahead and doing it. I did all my research. I got my little pennies together. And that's what I had to do, or decided that I wanted to. So guys, I think I'm going to stop the story right here, and this will be part 1, and part 2 will be me telling you about my experience in Mexico. So I hope that this is interesting to you, and if you have any questions, please let me know, because I can always do a recap if I've missed something, but I will be back soon with part 2. So stay tuned, guys. Have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.